Hi there, Joka here from A Pocket Full of Happiness, and I want to quickly go through the new products that are available in the shop today. All of these are dies, there are 16 dies, and I want to start with the Easter themed items. This first one is a tiny die set called Egg Bunny, and you can see in my hand that it's very small. You can create different bunnies, front and back with the little tail, or you can obviously also just use that egg die for eggs. So here are two sample cards that I created with the die, and in the first one you can see the front version of the bunny, and also this Frohe Ostern, the German version for Happy Easter, is also a new die. And here you can see the back of the bunny with the tail. And as you can see here, I actually used two different ears for the ones from the back. I die cut two of that shape instead of the floppy ear. Then the next set is also quite a small set. It's called Chick with Egg, and you can see that there's an outline egg with some leaves and a little bow and a little chick. And this is the card I created with it. It's pretty much the same as on the packaging, the back of the packaging, and then the Frohe Ostern here is the basically without the outline die, the sentiment. Happy Easter. This is the same font and the same size, as well as the the already existing For You, Für Dich, and then the Christmas sets, both German and English. And you can see here, using the outline, it looks a bit more dimensional than normal, because I like to add an extra layer to the cutout pieces. And there I used it. I used just the back of it. So actually, both the German and the English one, you can use two ways, well, at least two ways. And then this is the German version, which I already showed some examples with. Here you can compare the two different looks, and I always add an extra layer of the cutout parts to create that little bit of dimension. Now the first cover plate is called Peekaboo, and it's a scalloped edge and 4 stitched cover plate. It's an A2 size cover plate, and you can see it cuts out some egg shapes and leaves some bunny ears. And again, you can use this in a variety of ways as well. I die cut the panel twice to add some stability, and then I raised it with foam tape and filled some color cardstock behind it. And here I used the cutout pieces to create a second card, and here I just used 3 of those cutouts and added some of the new Disco Alpha for a different look. Then we have this larger set, Hide and Seek, but maybe the pieces are not quite obvious. So I do have a video with this. I do have a video with the Peekaboo as well on the channel today. So check it out if you want to see how all of this comes together. This one piece I didn't use, that is actually a heart shape for the tail, if you want to use that. And basically I recreated the card that I have here on the back. I do this often. I digitally, while I'm designing the die set, I create a digital card, and then I don't have to think about it much when I create the samples. And here I just mixed that bunny butt with the egg from the chick set. I thought that also worked well. Now all these sets are, well, they are not Easter, they are just some random sets. And the first one is called Birdhouse. This has quite a few pieces, and I grouped a lot of them together. Mostly things that you cut from the same color, or just they are just tiny pieces. I prefer doing it this way than having to stock, or store the small pieces. Again, here you see that I created that digital card and then I recreated it here. I just added a textured background, which is also a new die called Fluffy Clouds background. And there's another card I created here. These are both 5x7 inch size cards, and the Fluffy Cloud background is actually A2 size. And now we have a Paige Taylor Evans collab die again, and this one fits on an A2 size card, but I actually mostly used it on larger cards. And you can use this also a variety of ways. I will show you a few examples. This is a very basic version. I die cut the shape twice. I layered it up to create dimension, and I did not add back any of the letters. So this is very easy and very quick to do. And here I use the same, but I filled back the letters and I added some color letters as well, so it's very dimensional. I actually have a video for this one as well, so you can check that out. On these next two cards I also used it, and here I just used the letters, the fallout pieces, and I lined them up to the left, so it creates a different kind of look, just like a poster design or so. And again, I use the Fluffy Clouds, and that actually is an A2 size die, as I said. And this one here is exactly the same as I showed before. I added a few layers of the die cut. Moving on to the next one, that is called Retro Stripes background. And this one is a let's say A2 size. Well, it's 5.5 inches wide, basically, but you can use it on any size. I will show you different versions, what I did. And there's just to add a little bit of interest, there's a bit of faux stitching. And so this card is an A2 size landscape card. So you see that it's the same size. And then I used it on the on a portrait orientation as well. You can see that you can move that around. And then this one is a 5x7 inch card, and I added it at the top and the bottom to basically create a sort of like a frame. And then I used the new Disco Alpha on all of them, and these flowers are actually a mix of I think from the previous release, the Floral Heart, and maybe the Bloom Vario Planted, but definitely previously released dies. And also this bowl. However, this set is not in stock, and I probably won't restock it. It's called Heart Bouquet, I think. But I think a lot of people have bowls in their stash. So next one is actually, well, it's two. A2 size cover plates that work on their own, or you can layer them together. It's called layering, or they are called layering Geo Pattern 1 and 2. And I will show you how they look on their own and layered together. Like you can see on the left here, on both packaging, it's what the die cut looks like, and then on the right you can see them layered together. And again, you can also layer them together two different ways, depending on which one you put on the top. They will look, they will give you a different look. So I just played with these. I did not create finished cards, just card bases, because I wanted you to see the full panel, the full pattern. And this first one is the Geo, the layering Geo Pattern 2. And I actually die cut this twice, layered it up, and I used the heavyweight Nina 110 pound solar white card stock, so it gives a really nice dimension. This one is both layers. The first one is layered first, and then the second on top. And basically this way you can add 3 colors, so it's a very simple background. Then this one is a bit more complex, where I die cut these shapes from a variety of colors and then just add them back. I use liquid glue for this, but that's just my preference. If you use double-sided adhesive, this actually goes really fast. And you can see the dimension again. I used several layers of that die cut. Now in this case, you will see the difference here. The other die is layered on the top, so you can see that it gives you a different look. I actually prefer when the number 2 die is on top, so not this one. And again, I filled back those colorful pieces because I'm all about colors and patterns, and it has to be colorful for me. But this die actually looks very nice, white on white. Again, it's just all about texture and layers of cardstock. And this one is only using one of the dies, the number 1. And what I did here, because it would be a flat panel, just to add some interest, I added some extra die cuts, just this darker teal color. I had extra die cuts and I thought that I would use them that way. Now this one is it was an experiment. I did not want to throw away the partial die cuts that I had. I did not die cut full panels for this project because I knew that I'm never gonna use up that many die cuts and I don't have space to store them. So I experimented how I could make use of those, not to waste them. I think it turned out quite interesting. So just go ahead and play around with it. I think you can get interesting looks. Now this one was actually a request from a friend of mine. So this is called Fluffy Clouds Background, and it's really fun. It's very easy to put together and you can use many colors. It looks really nice from a lot of colors. I'm gonna show you later, that's on the back of the packaging. Here I just used 2 colors. These ones are really quick. Then I also have I created 4 cards where I die cut this panel from 4 colors. These look brown, but they are actually kind of, I don't know, like I would call them like flesh. I don't know. Peachy kind of. I found them interesting, these cardstock. So anyway, I die cut them 4 times, and then 2 of them here you can see that they are in from light to dark and dark to light colorway, and then the other 2 obviously they will have to be mixed. but they all are kind of interesting. And this is what I almost forgot. So when I created it digitally, I obviously added more colors. It's a lot more easy and less waste, obviously. Now there is this 5x7 um, cover plate. It's called Boom. And if you die cut this 8 times, then you can create 8 backgrounds that are super fun. Um, Again, I did not, because I don't have enough space to lay out all my little pieces. So I do have this on in a process video as well, if you want to check it out, how this came together. And then on the other card, because I did not want to waste all of I did have to die cut bigger pieces for the middle, so I did not want to waste everything. So I just created that focal element, so to say, and then I used the one of the disco alphas. And this stamp set is not available at the moment. It's called It's Your Party. It's quite an old set. I'm not sure if it's gonna be available, but anyway, check out the process video if you'd like to see what they look like. And also, my friend Martina created a lot of cards with this, with really fun sentiments on it. The pictures are available in the web shop if you want to check them out. And here I also use the here I use the disco numbers. You can see that the numbers actually are in one set, both the solid and the outline dies, because they are obviously not as many as the whole alphabet. And the 6 and the 9, as always, where most of the time, is the same. So you only have one number for it, or die for it. And here you can see the difference. Here's the 5 is the solid, and the other one uses both layers. So here you can see the 2 alpha sets. I do have large hands, but these are big sets. And so I did not want to, obviously I couldn't even have put them in one, because I would never be able to mail them anywhere. So I decided to go with 2 sets instead. And you can see here the 2 different options. They look great separately, but also together, or like a mixture, like I did here. This is actually my favorite kind of project. So either I really like flowers and geometric stuff, or I really like customized sentiments. I love alpha dies, and this was actually my favorite project to make with the whole release. And I will talk about something here, because I got questions on what I'm using for what I use for the outline die. And I use the Barely Art glue. This has a precision tip, which might not be so special. I had precision tip bottles for years and years, but I never had the right glue in them. This one is the right consistency. It flows really well. You can use the last drop in this bottle, honestly. And what I do is I put the glue on the die cut, and then I swipe it off either on my hand or on that towel, something like that, just so that I don't create a lot of what did I want to say? That it's not going to be messy. And I probably use it in the process videos, so you will see. And I showed a precision tip bottle here, which I used to use with different glues, but honestly, it just doesn't work. The consistency of the glue has to be perfect, and that this honestly, I don't know how I've ever lived without this glue, and I don't think it can be bought here in Europe. I ordered it from the US. Last year, at least, it was not yet available anywhere here. Um, but if you can get your hands on it, please do. I don't think you will regret it. Um, what else did I want to say about this? Oh, yeah. So, this is obviously the outline die is obviously intricate, and I was really scared that this might not work so nicely as I imagined, but it's actually, at least I did not have any problems with it. I generally use this metal shim, especially if it comes to intricate dies. And then it's also better to have not, well, this one is a used plate. It's better to have a very flat new plate. But if you don't have it, it's also fine. Use the shim. Once is enough to go through, or once back and forth if you want. But if your plate is not flat anymore, then that is a risky thing to do. But as you can see, the cuts are perfect. I used white, the heavyweight Nina Solar White cardstock. The only one that I use here that was not that cardstock is some basil, a brown. It's not as heavyweight, and the cut was even more perfect. So if you have any problems with it, just let me know, but there shouldn't be any problems. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like the new products, and happy shopping. Bye bye.